Peace, peace. What's up, y'all? This is Akeem Hindsight Radio. Hey, I'm on my teaching mode today. I want to show you a clip from an old Johnny Carson show where he interviews a guy named Jake Ehrlich, who was at the time was a very famous lawyer, trial lawyer. Let's listen to it real quick, and then I'll go in on it.
Our next guest is one of the country's most famous and dynamic trial lawyers. In fact, he has a distinguished legal career. And those of you who are familiar with the television show that was on for some seasons, Sam Benedict was based on a good part on his career. He's written a new book called A Reasonable Doubt, in which he states his definite opinions, speaks out rather boldly and provocatively on a whole number of subjects, from the narcotics addict to censorship to the Fifth Amendment.
By the way, I just ordered the book. I got to read these books to see what they're saying. And our legal system is so old. You have to read the old stuff to see what's really going on, because they change stuff up all the time. So he's about to say some interesting things. And I watched the video several times over and over, just this portion. And it's giving me some really good ideas. But let's listen.
Divorce and etc. He's an extremely interesting man. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Jake Ehrlich? Good evening, Counselor.
Good evening.
I always hear that. They say that on television all the time.
Not on the Sam Benedict show, they don't.
They don't say that. Why do they always say it in those other series? Counselor all the time.
Well,
lawyers talk to each other that way?
No. You ought to hear lawyers talk to each other.
This is a most fascinating book. As I mentioned to you briefly in a little time we had to say hello before the program, I get probably 30 or 40 books a month from people who appear on the show, and most of them you don't have a chance to really look through. You look at some of the highlights. And I sit up the last 2 nights with this book and called A Reasonable Doubt, and got so fascinated. I guess the lay people who don't know much about the workings of the law, this is all fascinating.
I'm glad
what you do. Most interesting. One statement you had in here, it says when you are defending somebody, you say the first thing that you tell them is never plead guilty.
Never plead guilty. Every man's entitled to a trial. He's presumed to be innocent until the contrary is proved to a moral certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's his right under the law, and he ought to avail himself of that right.
So never
plead
guilty.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your name? What is your name?
I refuse to answer. No. My name is Johnny Carson.
How do you know that to be your name?
Well, it's on a
Pay attention. He's dropping the jewels right now.
birth certificate, legally recorded.
That's hearsay.
That's hearsay?
Of course.
I mean, if it's legally recorded?
That's still hearsay. Suppose you were born, and I must assume that you were born because you're here tonight with us. There's a certificate made out not by you, certificate made out by somebody else.
Did you hear what he said? He said there's a certificate made out not by you, made out by someone else. How many of y'all go in there and they say, "Is that your birth certificate?" And y'all know these birth certificates are not yours. It belongs to the county that it was created in. You are there to use it for whatever they want you to use for. You use it to get a driver's license. You use it to get your passport. And all of these documents don't represent you, but you sign off on it as an authorized user. You don't know that you're signed off as an authorized user. So, but when you're in the courtroom, they always try to identify you as that piece of paper. Is this you? And the moment you say you're you, that's you. They got you. They treat you like trash. Why? Because you just admitted to being a piece of paper. You just admitted to being someone else's mental creation on paper. And see, we don't know that's what we're doing. Instead of saying, "Hey, I'm an authorized representative of that," that is not me. because it isn't you. Because they're pointing to the paper. Is this you? No. Is this your birth certificate? Yo, even down to your name. Is that your name? Let's continue. Hold on.
The boy child was born to Mr. and Mrs. Carson, and that he is named Johnny.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that you know that to be the fact. That means you have read that to be the fact.
See? Boom. You read that to be the fact. You don't know. You were not, you were mentally incompetent. You of legal disability to know anything that was going on at the time of your alleged birth. You don't even know if the time is accurate that they have on the birth certificate. You don't know if the person who recorded the time, that clock was working properly. But yet we identify with false things. Only thing you know for certain right now is everything that you had firsthand knowledge of, that you witnessed yourself and saw for yourself, experienced, or did with your own hand yourself. You know nothing about the facts that surround your birth. Your mother might know it. Your father might know it. The people that were there might know it. So think about this. So if any of y'all out there dealing with any court cases, y'all might want to rethink how you're introducing yourself in that paperwork, or what you're admitting to. Like each other, oh, it's just you, this is you, this is that. No, none of this stuff is me. None of it. You hand over your information when you get a job like it's you, and it's not you. You're signing off and endorsing your own poverty, giving away money that you worked hard for, off of assumptions that they made of you. I haven't taught on something like this in a while. Let's continue here.
Yeah, I see what you mean. In other words, I only have to go by what is recorded.
You're pleading guilty to something that you don't know of your own knowledge.
In other words, I should have said
You already said you're admitting to something you don't even have knowledge of. Do y'all realize, and I say this all the time, most of the things you give yourself or say is facts is not really facts. It's stuff you heard. Nothing you know for sure. Absolutely nothing. Most stuff is all off hearsay.
if somebody asks me who I am, I say I plead not guilty. Right off. It doesn't go quite that far.
Not that
plead
far.
not guilty. I see what you mean. That is hearsay. I'm only accepting what somebody has said.
Somebody else has said.
But that would be legal. I mean, if you come in with a birth certificate that proves you're born.
Well, it's birth
Pay attention. Pay attention.
certificates are legal until they're attacked and proved to be invalid. That has happened too.
I get such a kick out. I think about the second chapter of the book on new lawyers who start when they are trying to question a client and the things that they learn in court by not over questioning or going too far. There are a couple of give a couple of
that's very
illustrations.
dangerous. That's very dangerous. The apocryphal story is about the defense lawyer who's defending a fellow for driving while drunk. And the officer took the stand, and the district attorney asked him a question, and he said, yes, the defendant was drunk. All right, your witness, he says to the defense. The defense says, how long have you been in the police department? He says, 1 year. Well, then he should have stopped right there. But he says, well, just a police officer for 1 year? Does that give you the authority and the learning and the experience to say that my client was drunk from what you observed? He says, oh, no. Well, then what was your reason? Oh, bartending for 18 years.
See, that lawyer talked too much. See, that's another good point. You talk too much. You have to listen to the questions and answer them so that you don't incriminate yourself. Later on in this, they talk about lie detectors and stuff and how you should never take one because they can't be used in court. So this was a short video just to show you that all of these documents that you're associating with yourself You don't even know that the facts surrounding that. And that has definitely given me ideas about. Think about this. I'll just throw this out there. Think about this. When you're applying for these things and they want these, I got a birth certificate, but I don't know if that's factual or not. I don't know that information is real, so I can't present that as me. Interesting. That's I'm gonna stop right there. But here it is. That's it. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth. I just want to give y'all that little bit of tidbit, a little bit of lesson. Y'all have a wonderful and extremely prosperous day.